Hi there, and welcome back to video number 2 of my video pre-training series, Build Your List. My name is Jennifer, creator of the List to Love list building formula and the Jennifer Maker DIY and Craft blog, and I am so glad to be back here with you today. In video number 1, we talked about the many different ways that you can build your mailing list, and there were a lot, weren't there? So in this video, we're going to go over some of the examples of how different bloggers build their mailing lists and what techniques they use. And we're also going to give you some real life examples. And then we're going to dive into how you can evaluate which list building techniques that you should focus your attention on, since it will be different for every blogger. But first, if you haven't watched video number 1, watch that and then come back to this video. Now today I am going to build on what we already talked about in our first video by going into more depth so that you can decide which list building techniques will work best for you, building your list and monetizing your blog more effectively. In the end, you'll feel confident about how you can grow your list, and because you'll be focusing your efforts on those techniques that will actually work and build your blog's mailing list, your income will grow along with it. And you're going to stop wasting time on list building activities that don't make sense for your blog. The truth is that trying to build your mailing list before you have really evaluated your best options is incredibly frustrating and counterproductive. You may have discovered that you can install pop-up subscription boxes on your blog, only to see that no one really signs up and everybody just complains about the pop-ups. Maybe you tried to drum up subscribers by posting on social media, only to hear crickets. Or maybe you read about how some people can have a free resource library on their blog, so you put one up too, but no one seems to care about it. If any of this sounds familiar at all, you're totally normal. Even so, you can't let these frustrations stand in your way of your blog's dreams. You might be tempted to give up, but don't. Some ways work better than others. For real. So there are ways that you can utilize different list building techniques and methods to work for you instead of against you. That's why in this video, we're going to get super practical and talk about the most popular list building techniques. Let's start with some real life bloggers who have built their mailing lists to various levels and see what works best for them. Blogger number 1 is a lifestyle and business blogger. She uses a welcome mat opt-in on her welcome page, 3 to 5 opt-in forms in multiple places on her blog, her sidebar, pop-ups, and blog posts, etc. And she creates a lot of valuable freebies, putting them in a resource library. Her list is 200,000 subscribers. She's been blogging for about 5 years now. Blogger number 2 is a personal finance blogger. She uses a lot of freebies such as email courses, email challenges, and printables. Her mailing list is 100,000 subscribers, and she's been blogging for about 4 years. Blogger number 3 is a DIY blogger. She uses opt-in freebies like free ebooks and printables to build her mailing list. Her mailing list is about 70,000 subscribers, and she's been blogging for about 4 years. Blogger number 4 is a home blogger. She uses opt-in freebies like free challenges and free organizers to build her mailing list. Her mailing list is 6,500 subscribers, and she's been blogging for just 2 years. Blogger number 5 is a mom blogger. She uses freebies like printables and organizers to grow her mailing list. Her mailing list is 4,000 subscribers, and she's been blogging for just under 2 years. And blogger number 6 is a home entertainment and party blogger. She uses pop-ups to grow her mailing list. Her mailing list is about 3,000 subscribers, and she's been blogging for 8 years. So here are some general trends that I want to share with you. If you've been blogging for 2 years or more and have not built a mailing list of at least 5,000 subscribers in size, then you're really missing a huge opportunity. Go back over the list building techniques from yesterday's video and then really pay attention to the end of this video on how to evaluate which ones can work best for you. Now, if you've been blogging for about a year and have not built up a mailing list of at least 2,000, you're also missing out. You need to make some changes to really capture your audience. And even if you've only been blogging for a little while, but you have no mailing list, you are definitely missing out. You can get subscribers even on a brand new blog. You can get them before you even start your blog if you want. For real, I know someone who's done that. So, and as far as income goes, most bloggers who earn a full-time income have been blogging for at least 2 years. I am unusual in that I earned a full-time income before my first blog anniversary. But that is not typical. So please don't expect to earn a full-time income before the 2-year mark. But that doesn't mean that you can't be earning a part-time income before that time. And of course, just having been blogging for 2 years does not magically make the money appear. So let's talk about what's going to work best for you. And we're going to go over all the important factors to consider when deciding which list building techniques will work for you and your blog. Number 1, do you enjoy it? The first 2 big things to consider are your personality and your passion, and if you're really going to enjoy using a particular technique. If you don't like social media, you probably shouldn't try to find new subscribers there, or shouldn't go crazy at least. If you don't like programming or don't even know how, don't try to build a web tool to get your subscribers. And if you don't like a lot of clutter on your website, don't use a bunch of pop-ups and hello bars to get subscribers. So don't try a list building technique just because you hear it works for others if it's not going to fit with you and your skills. If it doesn't fit your personality or your passion, it probably won't work for you anyway, and you'll just get frustrated. Number 2, do you have time for it? Another factor to consider is how much time a given list building technique will take. If you're short on time, avoid time-consuming techniques like email challenges, mini courses, or long ebooks. These can take a lot of time to write and administer. Number 3, do you have competition for it? So, how much competition is out there for what you're considering as a way to build your mailing list? For example, email challenges can be great, but are there already a lot of them out there that are on the same exact topic that you want to do? If so, it'll be a bit harder to stand out and get folks to sign up for yours. Pop-up subscription boxes also suffer from competition. When nearly every blog has a pop-up, many readers have learned to close those pop-ups without even reading them, making them far less effective than they could be. Number 4, does it fit your blog niche? Some list building techniques are better for certain blogs, right? For example, an offer of a free report or white paper is going to be much more appealing to readers of a business blog than a lifestyle blog. And a printable planner will be more appealing to readers of a lifestyle blog than it would be to readers of a craft blog. Most all blog readers will enjoy access to a resource library, provided that library is full of things that are targeted towards them and their needs. And does your traffic support it? Blogs with low traffic are just not going to benefit as much from low-key list building techniques. For example, I don't think hello bars typically work well on low traffic blogs because they just don't have enough people passing through on a regular basis. So there are other things to consider as well. Let's go through the types of list building techniques one by one, and I will give you a few things that I want you to think about and consider for each one as you're evaluating them for yourself. Pop-ups, hello bars, and welcome mats. Generally speaking, if you have traffic that is less than, I'd say, 50,000 page views per month, I don't recommend these things. They are annoying to most readers, and they may chase off those early visitors that you're going to get. I've heard of them working on big sites with a lot of traffic, but honestly, nearly anything works when you have a lot of traffic. So let's be honest here. If you really want to try this, try just one of these. One pop-up, one hello bar, or one welcome mat. This will reduce the pop-up explosion that can happen on some blogs as soon as you visit them, right? Okay, so how about partnering up with other blogs and influencers? So this can be really powerful, but usually you need something to offer another blogger or influencer to entice them to work with you, right? So partnering up with another smaller blogger probably won't work all that well. I would recommend that you try this only if both you and the other person have mailing lists of at least 1,000 subscribers already. So how about exclusive content and things like newsletters, giveaways, and contests? I think newsletters are wonderful and that you should definitely be sending them out as soon as you have your first subscriber. But newsletters as an enticement to subscribing to your newsletter in the first place, yeah, so those are a harder sell. Everyone has a newsletter these days, and all of us have too much email to read. Your super fans will be interested, and likely you'll get some signups, but not as much as you could with other list building techniques. So I always thought that giveaways and contests could be super popular, right? But you really need a sizable amount of traffic or a good way to promote them to get these to work well for your list. But if you have a way of reaching people who are beyond your blog, or your blog is gigantic, this is worth a try. These can take some time to set up and administer, however, so keep that in mind if you're in a time crunch. So how about freebies, which is downloadables, challenges, and courses? So offering something of value and giving it away for free is a perennial winner when it comes to mailing list building. It works regardless of how much traffic you have, though of course, the more traffic, the more signups. It's basically just how it always works. You can offer these free printables, patterns, worksheets, information products like mini ebooks, email challenges, and email courses. The list is almost endless. Some freebies will take a lot more time than others to create, however, so you'll need to choose one that works well for you and your schedule. Okay, and sign up links in unusual places. So by this, of course, I mean putting a sign up on like your 404 page not found or on a social media bio, in your email signature, and so on. These can work, but they will be a trickle, not a deluge. So there's no reason not to do it. Just don't expect to generate a crazy amount of signups, especially if you have low traffic or few followers. These are usually quite easy to do and take little time to set up. So I hope that you'll take some time to think about all the things that we've talked about today. If you've already started building your mailing list, think about how these methods can bolster the efforts that you've already undertaken. If you haven't yet started your mailing list, take some time now to think about what you'd like to try first, focusing on those that will work best for you and your blog. Okay, so now that you've learned how to evaluate list building techniques, let's spend a few minutes looking at this process in action through a short case study. Cara is a new blogger. She just started 4 months ago. She began her blog with list building in mind, creating a well-stocked resource library filled with things that she thought that her readers would enjoy. And it worked. She managed to get nearly 1,000 of her readers to sign up and stay on her mailing list during that time, 4 months. So now she's earning real money, $2,000 a month from her blog. Pretty amazing, right? I think so too. Cara is awesome. Okay, so let's do a quick review of what we've learned today. We discussed the ways different bloggers build their lists. Then we discussed the various factors that go into deciding whether or not a list building technique will work for you personally. And finally, I told you what I think of the various list building techniques in general, right? So it's a lot of info, I know. So be sure to review your notes and try to take action right away. And speaking of taking action, before we go today, I want you to leave me a comment right below this video and tell me what list building techniques that you're thinking of trying next or first for your mailing list. In the next video, I am going to talk about the list building technique that I think is the best and then the one that I'm the most passionate about. And that also happens to think it's the most flexible and works best for most all bloggers, regardless of traffic or niche. And it's going to be a game changer, so be sure to watch it. And I've been getting a ton of questions about my List Love List Building for Bloggers Master Course. Don't worry, I'm going to answer all of those questions in video number 3. So I hope that you've learned something new from my video today about list building techniques and how they can work for you and your blog. Next up, we're going to talk about my favorite list building technique. And this is the one, in fact, that got me to 20,000 subscribers on a new blog in less than a year. No kidding. So I will see you in the next video.